thank you so much for being here with me. I am so excited to hear everything about your transformation. Like, obviously, I've been here the whole time, but looking back on everything that you have gone through and the just the craziness that you have gone through and the progress that you've made, girl, I can't even with this. I need to hear it from your mouth. Please, during this video, give us everything you've got because, babe, you've been on fire for like the last couple months. Okay? Like, are you down for this?
Yes.
Yes, babe. Okay. So, first things first, when you came to me, okay, what was going on in your relationship, in your life, in your heart that made you want to reach out and get help? What was going on?
So I felt like I was going in a constant circle. I was in a over 5 year marriage that, had the abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, cheating. And I think when you found me, I knew there was something more out there in a relationship and marriage than getting abused and cheated on. And I just didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what it was supposed to feel like. I didn't know how to contribute to one. So in my heart, I was in such a scared position where I didn't want to reach out for help because I was so scared of judgment. I had tried all types of therapy. I think when I found you, I did EDMR, I did every marriage counseling book, I did couples retreat, I did talk therapy, journal therapy. I I mean, I had the best of the best of the military psychologists and psychiatrists trying to um, get me to a healthy state, but I was just caught in a loop. Um, they do an exposure therapy when you found me, and it wasn't working. I mean, it was just traumatizing me even more. And in my heart at the time, there was something more out there. I just didn't know what it looked like. Um, I really did. I didn't even know I was capable of finding or even feeling the things that I feel now because I was so negatively impacted by my last marriage or my only marriage. Um,
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, that's what I remember, babe. I remember being on the phone with you and things were just so hard. And I I'm so happy that you found me so that you could make these changes for yourself. And so that leads me to my next question. And that's like, you just said that you were so worried that you wouldn't be able to make it happen. You didn't even know if it was possible for you. So was there anything that made you like almost not sign up?
um, I had kind of given up on my faith at the time. I gave up on um, what I thought I wanted in life. It was one of those things where it seemed like I had tried everything to get to where I thought I wanted to be. I mean, and this all goes back down to my childhood, not having parents and the parents that I did have, them just being who they are, very toxic, negative people. Then I go and marry somebody who was just a chaotic mixture of them. And um and I after, you go through childhood and you meet all these terrible people, but you're not like them, and then you go and marry somebody who's terrible and I'm not like them. I didn't believe that there were people like who were good until I
Yeah.
met you because you scared me. You scared me. I ran away from the church. I ran away from the pastor. I ran away from the pastor's wife. I was like, you guys are not going to do that to me. And I almost said no, but there was something about the way you presented yourself. There was something about the way you presented, the way of living and aiming for a healthy relationship. Even I know I know I'm going through a divorce, and the relationship, the marriage just was not healthy, and there was just something about the quality in your teaching, the quality in your communications, the quality in the way you portray yourself was lovely and admirable. And I was like, that's a woman. That is a woman. That is, I I was just drawn to you as you know, as a woman. I was so drawn to you, and there was just something about you that I I just dove right in. I think what was the first session? Was it the first session that I had admitted? I was like, I wasn't going to tell you that I do this, but I have this obsession and this compulsion that I'm going to get cheated on. And I was ruining friendships and relationships, and I wasn't going to tell you about that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say it. And even when I said it, you did not judge me. There was anything. You comforted me. You encouraged me, and me being working in the behavioral health field, it was like my positive reinforcement. So the more, even though there was some nasty things that I was admitting to, there was positive reinforcement of me being honest and peeling back those terrible layers about myself.
Yeah. And you did so good too. You did so good. That honesty literally set you free.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, babe. Oh, so good. Okay, so that actually leads me into the next question, which you kind of already said this, but let's just get a little more explicit about it. So, what was it like being in the container with me? What was it like getting the support from me, even in those darker times and the times where you were like, yeah, I'm doing great? Like, how was it for you to be here in the space with me?
So I felt like a little kid who was at that phase where I was like, but why? But why? Why do I need to do this? Why are you telling me this? Why? And everything, even though there was a question in my mind of, well, why? Why should I? I mean, I got the screwed up parents. I got the screwed up marriage. I don't have kids. And there was that bitterness, but it grew into, um, it was, it, I mean, I guess another way I could describe it, you ever try to, you know, you see a stray cat or a stray dog or a stray animal, and they've been abused, and you're trying to, get to them like, hey, I'm kind and friendly, and they're just biting back at you, but you're so persistent in trying to get them to understand that you're not here to hurt you. And that's how it felt being in the container, where eventually, me going through the stuff that I had went through, eventually I started to trust you. And it was small things that, um, the way you describe things was, there's a pool of trauma. And right now, Matt, I was, at first when I met you, I was snorkeling in it. I was scuba diving in it. I'm pretty sure I had a surfboard in it, that pool of trauma. And you saved me from that pool of trauma. You pulled, even though I was jumping in head first, or I was diving in and, diving into that pool of trauma, you were always there to pull me out. Till today, to who I am now, I know that that pool of trauma, um, you would tell me, don't jump in the pool of trauma. You could look at it, you acknowledge it, but you do not need to drown in it. And every single time those nasty emotions came up and I wanted to dive right into the pool of trauma, I just looked at it and I was like, okay, well, here are the emotions. I see the lifeguard. You're my lifeguard. I was like, Danielle's my lifeguard, but I know, I as much as it's great to know that she's a lifeguard there, I'm capable of not jumping into the pool. So being in that container with you, it was such there's so many different ways to describe it, but it took a lot of trusting. It took a lot of inner work. Um, and you were there the whole time in different shapes of form, you were the lifeguard, girl. You were the animal control trying to save this stray animal who was ready to fight everybody. Um, and you just being in a container where it was safe, no matter which emotion came up, no matter what situation came up, it was safe. That container was safe. So that's how I felt about it.
Oh, babe, I'm just over here just like trying to contain myself.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, my heart. Oh, girl. Okay. So, like, with that said, what do you think? Which, by the way, that analogy that we created about the pool, I am so, so happy that stuck for you.
Oh yeah, and I think I had told you, I had told Chris because my emotions were getting high, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm at the pool, but I don't need to jump in. He was like, what? I was like, I'm at the pool, I don't need to jump in, and I explained it to him, and it made sense to him. So I still refer to the pool trauma, the pool trauma, and I'm like, "Ew," I'm looking at it. It's right there. Sometimes I'll dip my toe in it, but I'm quick to take it out and wipe it off. And um, so yeah, that the way that you describe things, the way that you put things into perspective, the way it's so easy to keep. It's so strong to keep because there was just so much imagery, and because of you, I got back into poetry writing. I don't even think I told you I've been so busy with work. I haven't written poetry for so long, and I got a journal and I started writing again, and there's just, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. I could go on and on, but the way
That
that you have taught me has stuck.
so like that brings me to the next thing that I wanted to ask, and that was like, what's the biggest shift that you think that's happened for you? Because girl, like you made such progress. Like if I could show the world like just how amazing you have been over these last few months, they'd be like, "Wow, she has done the work."
Yeah.
Okay? And like you have literally saved yourself. Like I know that you're telling me how much I've helped you, and I know that I have, but babe, you have done the work here. And so I'm thinking to myself, what do you feel has been the biggest shift for you from when we started, okay, to where we are now?
I mean, so many different aspects of me. There's been a shift in everything. There's been a shift in perspective on myself and other people. Sometimes it's not easy because I still want to go back into that crawl space and hide, but even my perspective on life, it really, when I got back into the plants, since we're in a interview, can I remind you? um, I when I think when I started, it was when I was moving out, and I think I only had like two plants. Now I was getting the broken dead plants. I was getting the broken and the dead plants, the ones that were on sale because I love me a sale. And what I did was I tried to revive them the best that I could. But taking it, making sure that I was putting into perspective the positive things that you were teaching me and applying them to the small things in life, such as my plants. You know, even I get it. I got the broken one, I got the messed up one, but there was so much potential in it. I just had to get rid of the dead ones. Some of them I had to throw the whole root out because the root was just bad. And eventually, it started coming back to life. Like this one was completely dead. And not only is it trying to thrive now, getting rid of the dead plants that were sucking up all the positive plants, that's what, I felt that you have helped me done. Um, all the negative things that were just pulling me down and making me such a bad plant, it's no longer there. And the best thing about the thing that you have taught me is I get the clippings from the plant that was once dead, and I create new ones. I create new ones so I could give to other people. And mind you, this is the same plant. Got it for what? $7. I saved $8, and nobody wanted it. It was dead. It barely had any life to it. And now I'm creating a new life with the same leaves from the broken ones that needed to, get needed to get their roots trimmed. And that's what I feel that you did to me. I mean, how beautiful life is that it gives us another chance to grow something new by cutting the roots and, taking the things off that no longer serve our purpose. And my perception on life has been projected in a positive manner for everything. And one more thing, I know we're on an interview thing, but I mean, just like this, how this one's called the baby bunny belly plant because the
Yeah.
leaves, remember, I think it was like a small vine, and the past 3 months I've taken care of it. But I mean, how beautiful life is that they saw an animal and they saw this plant and was like, they remind me of each other. They're different things, but they're still two beautiful things.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully the recording is still going.
oh, it said it stopped, I
Yeah.
think.
My goodness. Hang on. Give me 1 second. I'm clean myself up here. I'm over here trying not to cry. I'm not succeeding.
Uh,
You got me. You got me.
I want to cry, but I just it means so. And mind you, girl, I almost dropped out of my MBA program. I mean, the amount of trauma that was just wrapped around my brain, and they were like glasses. They're just like glasses. Just, you want the toxic ones or do you want the nice ones? And sometimes it was just easier to put the toxic ones on. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna be toxic today. And you're like, Alyssa, give that to me. We are not doing that, babe. And yep. So yeah, definitely it's been oh, I don't want to stop. I think I'm going to most likely continue this.
Well, that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep you here for as long as you want to stay. So, like,
Yeah.
now you have so many exciting things going on in your life right now. And I am so happy for you. Like, just the pictures you sent me in Slack from the Run
Yeah.
Fest, you guys are so stinking cute. Like, shut up. It's too cute. So, can
He's
you
so respectful.
tell me what's going on in your life right now, babe?
Okay. Well, my professor for school has been extra hard on me, so I'm pretty sure there's been some character building. Um, rejected essays and late nights studying, but so I'll be done with my master's in October. Um, as far as let's see what else. I'm still going to continue to be a behavioral therapist until things finally come to an end and I close certain chapters in my book or in my life. Chapters in my life. Yeah. And by next year, or maybe when I'm done with my master's in October, I do want to go and get my phlebotomy certificate at it's Austin P University. It's like 5 minutes away from me. So they offer a phlebotomy course, and it includes the training, the certification, and I want to get that and go on a missions trips and volunteer to draw blood and just get my hands dirty with things that people sometimes don't really want to do. So that's definitely in my maybe either this year or next year. I haven't decided. And what's going on in my just
So I want you to like take a second and I want you to focus on who it is you've drawn into your life because
yeah,
this man,
yeah.
okay, like this is literally love story city.
Oh my gosh,
Tell
you want me to go to the beginning. You want me to tell you the story.
tell me
All
about
right.
this girl. It's so different. It's so different than what you were experiencing, and it's all
Yes.
because of the work you've done.
Yes. So I had told God I was done with men, and there was no way. I was like, I'm just going to work. I'm going to school. Maybe they'll see me at church. I was like, but I'm done. I am so done. Don't breathe. Don't let no man breathe by me. Look at me. Talk to me because I promise you. I told God, I was like, I promise you, I'm going to send them away. And I told God, unless you bring this dude to my doorstep, I'm not talking to nobody. And funny enough, it was a Sunday. I got locked out of my apartment, and the locks, the people who the maintenance was not available to me, so I had to call a locksmith to come to my house and try to unlock it. So so I called him, and he came to my doorstep, and I oh, he was so handsome. Like I needed first I needed to make sure that he was single because I was not about to flirt with. I was like, I know it's Sunday, and I hope I didn't take you from your family. And he was like, "Oh no, it's just me and my cats." And I was like, "Oh, you're a cat guy," just playing it. And he looked up at me because he was struggling to open the door, and he looked up at me. I was like, "I like your face. You have a really nice face." And he was very respectful because he was wearing his company shirt. He was like, "Thank you." And he couldn't get my door open for the longest time. For the longest time, he could not get the door open. So you know how I am. I trauma dumped on him. I told him my life story. And the crazy thing is that before he even arrived, he had called me because he couldn't find me. That was the only way he had my number, because otherwise he wouldn't have gotten my number that night, because he's highly professional when he's at work. Um, so that was the guy that God put at my doorstep because he's funny like that. But I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared. I was a little nervous. I interviewed this guy left and right, and um he's the reason I started going to church again, because he invited me to church. And I hadn't been to church. I had a very bitter relationship, with the church because of the way they treated me with my marriage. Um and he invited me to church, and he was just very healthy. He was so healthy to a point where I was like, remember when I told you, I was like, Daniel, what do I do? What do I do? He was so healthy. The whole situation was just God cracking jokes like, "Ha, I got you." And even if you go on my Facebook, about 4 months before I met him, I had found my cat Cheerios, and I was like, you know what, God, I told you, send me a man with a kind heart and blue eyes. And this was, he sent me Cheerios, my cat, but guess who has a kind heart and blue eyes? Chris. So, and ever since then, he is kind, he's respectful. Um, he has accepted where I'm at in life. I think that's the most important part, because he doesn't, um, coming from an abusive relationship, I the best way I could describe him, he's like the man that women write poetry about good men. Like, that's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of like a just a he's the barrier that protects me from the world. I mean, he's he makes me feel so safe. And if there are times that I'm incorrect, where my behavior is, not healthy, he tells me, and he doesn't degrade me. He doesn't yell at me. He doesn't raise his hand at me. He just says, "Hey, don't yell at me." Yeah, and I was like, I have never been more attractive, dude. Like, I have never been more attractive. There's so much respect and kindness, and like, I was so used to being in control of everything that he makes me have nothing to worry about. Like, he does. Granted, I still get, coming from a cheating relationship, I have nothing to worry about. Like, hey, you know what? Alyssa, I'm going to my Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, have fun. I know you're there. Like, like, and who he is as a person, who he is as a man is something that I always wanted. I just never thought I would get. And it's almost like the law of attraction. Who the woman that you helped me become attracted the man who I always desired. And I tell him all the time, I was like, I hope I get to keep you. I was like, I hope I get to keep you. And
Yeah.
that's that law of attraction where, or you act into, what do we say? We act until it's fact.
Yep.
Yep. And that's exactly what I did. I acted until it was fact. And it's a fact now that I'm a smart, beautiful, strong woman who deserves kind love, who deserves kind communication, healthy relationship. Granted, I'm still working on myself. Okay, like, I'm not perfect, but I know um he's actually coming over for dinner today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually coming over for dinner today, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I'm trying not to jinx anything. Maybe when he puts this on YouTube, and then like a year from now, I'm gonna update you guys. Oh, we're married, but
That's honestly what's gonna happen, girl. If I don't get an invite,
that's what everybody says. My nail guy, the guy who did my nails, he was like, "Who's the guy you're talking to?" And I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "What? What? How do you know?" He was like, "He's the one for you." I was like, "I don't know how. What?" And then just the amount of people who see stuff that I don't. And then when we're at the church, there was the older gentleman, and he was like, "Oh, is this your wife?" And I was like, "Do people see something that we don't see?" Like, so I'm just, I mean, the girl in me wants to be like, wedding and flowers and babies one day, but we have to take it. We have to make sure, I have to make sure that I'm being healthy and we're going at a healthy rate, but he leads me in that direction. There's not like there's not a timeline. And I was bad with that. I was so bad with that when I had met you. My everything was on a timeline. Everything.
do
So
you feel like at this point the work that we've done has allowed you to let him lead and trust in what it is that he's leading you toward?
yeah, yeah, because I even tell him that um when I do intervene, or if he does intervene as a leader, or male, in the male role model in my life, is how I explain it. Like, if he corrects Mary Jane, like my dog, Mary Jane does not listen to me. She catches the attitude with me. She will talk back to me, and if he corrects her, she'll listen. But I don't intervene. I let him lead in a way that I could see how he's leading, and I trust how he's leading and where it's going to take us. So I don't know if that makes sense, but doing this course and being around you girls, the groups now, I know work and school has been super busy, but me listening to it like a podcast, I do listen to it. And that Venus is from Mars, or what's it called? The Mars is from Venus.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
I kid you not, every single time that I read a chapter, it usually happened. and I knew exactly how to respond to it. And making sure that my Instagram is it algorithm?
Yeah.
Making sure that it's not filled with the modern, the toxic modern ways of living. I lean back more into pages. Sometimes I'll see what pages videos you like, and I'll go and follow those pages. Like, I'm not like a stalker or anything, but there's there's more peace in being feminine and traditional, and I don't know if traditional is the right word, but there's just more peace in not being so hyper independent and chaotic and I'm a boss girl. Like, there's so much peace being soft, feminine, and respectful and understanding of men. And yeah, that's definitely helped me too.
That's awesome. Can you speak to that? Like, how has that made you feel? Because I know there are a lot of women who are going to watch this who
Mm.
are in a position of that hyper independence, of, not seeing the other perspective, of feeling like they have to be hard just so things get done. How have you embraced that softness and how has that benefited you?
So I'm not gonna lie, when you met me, I was very much I'm just gonna do it myself. I was like that in my marriage due to the circumstances of my marriage, but I was never able to practice the soft femininity of respecting a man and submitting to a man. So I'm so sorry. What was the question?
Yeah, no. So like how has your like embracing the softness and femininity like helped you overall in your life and in your relationship?
It shifted my perspective on men. Definitely shifted my perspective on men because there was always something in my ear saying they don't have emotions, they don't have feelings, they're not this and that. But it all goes back down to the perspective and how this course and the the information and stuff that you give to the teaching that you give to us has just greatly shifted the perspective. I'm able to, take that into when it comes to work. The males in my, that I do work with, or, you know, run across, I view them in a more respectable manner rather than me thinking that, that whole movement of, and then like, it's just so much, there's just so much peace being, being that soft, quiet, respectful woman. Um, and that like I said, it's just been the perspective. And in this relationship, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I want to be like, and another thing, and but I'm like, nope, we're not feeding that. We're not feeding that. We're going to sit back and we're going to be kind. And I mean, we're taught that at such a young age, so I don't like, be kind to others, but it's like now that we're older, be kind to others, except for men. Like, that's just my perspective. That's just my perspective. Like, I was like, no, men have feelings too. They're they deserve to have respect too, and that has helped me in this new relationship with Chris. Granted, sometimes I do step on the line, but I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not feeding that, and it's the perspective, and being soft, and it's just peaceful. I don't know how else to
Yeah,
explain
no,
it. It's just
totally fine.
peaceful. Men
Yeah.
are such simple creatures. I'm going to be honest. Us women complicate it so much because it's like if us women would just take a step back and listen to men and what they want and not project what we want them to do, whoo, world peace will be there. There will be so much world peace. But you know, I'm fascinated with the male, the whole man thing. Like, they're such easy creatures. You know how us women are like, oh, we're such easy creatures. We just need, we're just easy women. We just want flowers. We just want this. Men are just as easy. Like, it's like, how can I say this in a respectful way? Just like they're just so easy. Here's a meal. I made you some food. I made you some cookies. Good morning. I texted you. I don't care if you didn't text me, the night before or something. good morning, or, hey, I was thinking about you. They're just so easy. They're like, yeah, they're like kids. I don't know how to explain. I mean, not that they're, that sounded so weird, but like, they're like kids at a candy store. Like, here, I made you dinner, and they're so excited. Here, I'm gonna rub your back when you get home from work. Or, I see you've had a bad day. Go ahead and tell me how bad it was. I'm not going to intervene with with my thoughts and plan. They're simple creatures. Us women complicate it. That's just my perspective.
Yeah.
I hope I don't get a lot of I hope I don't get a lot of backlash on that.
Hey,
But
cover me.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the fact that you have embraced that mentality is what has absolutely helped you in moving forward, because I think you're right. I think they are just very simple creatures, and if you do certain things, they will move mountains.
Hmm.
And just to wrap us up here, my last question is, if someone was thinking about working with me, but they weren't quite sure, what would you tell them to help them make that decision?
If you want to know peace, go to Danielle. If you want peace of mind and you want your life to go down a path that you never thought you could get, I would definitely recommend you. And I would tell them, I'm not rushing you, I'm not pushing you. This is what she offers. This is my progress and my experience. And this is what you could potentially have if that's what you want. I'm going to try to get my sister, I'm going to try to get my sister to do it too, because it's going back to me trying everything. I've tried everything. I have tried everything, and nothing worked until I met you. So, if anybody's hesitant, sometimes it just takes that leap of faith, leap of faith, that leap of faith. Just if you're going to make a jump, go in this direction with this person and this program. Um, because there's going to be a lot of women who I recommend. I mean, even men. I think even men could benefit from your course. Granted, it's just us women, but I think, I mean, I think men being able to see women who are as toxic as me become as healed as I am, I think that might restore some humanity somewhere.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah, I think, what's funny? I do have quite a few men that follow me, and I have a few men in my DMs that are talking to me about their wives, and they're like, "Hey, I gotta get
Yeah.
my wife to you," and I'm like, "Do not send your wife to me unless she's ready, okay?
Yeah.
You can't force this on her. She's got to be the one that says yes." But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So, Babe, thank you
Oh, yeah.
so much. This has been amazing, and I cannot wait to continue to work with you. Your progress, like I don't know what I would do if I didn't see your progress all the time, babe. You are amazing.
Remember you had said that it's TED Talk type stuff? Now that I'm talking to you about it and we just discussed the whole timeline, I was like, dang, wow.
Yeah. Look at how far you've come in such a short time too. This
Yeah,
has been like, I know we missed a couple sessions and it extended a little bit, but it's been like 3.5, 4 months, and you went from like a bristly, like, I don't need no man, get away from me, don't breathe on me, to this soft, feminine woman,
yeah.
literally called the man of her dreams into her life. God plopped him on your doorstep,
Just
okay?
like my prayers.
Just like your prayers, because of the woman you decided to become.
Yes.
You're
And
awesome.
even he got to see a little bit of it.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I'm so excited. I know we're on a call and everything, but I mean, can I show you? I know this might go on YouTube, but I really want to show you. So the first flowers that he ever got me, I dried them and I put them in this little container.
Oh my God, stop it.
Yeah, and then when we went to the Ren Fair, he got me this bird whistle, and
Oh,
and I and then that's the best thing about learning to be in being more soft and feminine. You appreciate more things. You just do. I don't even know how to explain it. You just do. You appreciate the small things.
Yeah,
I thought I was humble, but then I went through this course with you, this, adventure with you, and I think I became even more humble.
I love that. I love that so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me.